poop, poop, poop from a butt.
Bollocks.
It stinks. It's fat.
Cow bollocks. Nose goblins.
Oh, so I think we're doing world building this Friday. If you were gonna be able to make it for the Beam Saber game.
I can.
Let's see.
Okay, cool.
Can you, Oscar?
I don't think I'm gonna be in it. Be
Yeah,
wearing a
Oscar-
pet spirit.
Yeah, I think Oscar had mentioned he's kind of RPG'd out, so he's probably gonna sit this one out.
All right then.
Hello,
And
Boudin. I am
Is
streaming.
there anybody else? Anthony or anybody else?
I think what it's looking like is I'm running, you, Chris, Austin for sure sound like are playing. Anthony, I think, might be traveling for his, his whole thing. So, but he had expressed interest, but I don't know how reliably he'll show up. But it's you three for sure, and then we'll see. But I think that's probably it. It would be like you three guys plus maybe Anthony.
Okay. And Austin is going with a spider bot from Robot Jock.
No, he's going with the Tachikoma.
Really explain anything. He wants to keep it secret for now.
No,
All he said was
me.
Spider Mech.
He told me he's ripping off the Tachikomas from Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
Oh, okay.
Dudes with branches.
Wait a minute. So if he's he's ripping that off for the mech design, but is he gonna be like an AI pilot? I wouldn't put it past him to come up with something like that.
I mean, I don't know. He just told me Tachikomas.
Okay, well that's pretty cool. I can dig it.
No, he's going Tachikoma, not the big mech walker. That one.
I can't see because Discord is behind the game. I mean, I guess I could look on my phone, but I'm doing Dark Souls, and it's hard to find a place to stop.
Yes.
Stop playing Dark Souls and rejoin the conversation.
No, he still talks.
No, he must quit playing.
No, he's actually making really good progress on Dark Souls, and I want to watch him play. Because I don't actually feel like playing anything on my computer, and I don't want to like talk and look at Reddit. I've been looking at Reddit and Twitter all day.
I am sad that you do not have an Xbox One, because then you could play State of Decay 2 with me.
I am not sad that we don't have Xbox Ones. Xbox Ones have nothing for us.
I'm gonna level with you, Hunter. Even if I had an Xbox One, I don't know that I would play State of Decay 2.
It's honestly very fun. It has AJ hooked pretty well.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm just pretty sure it's not for me.
Warcraft.
Is it a FUPS? Hunter?
What?
Is it a FUPS? A first-person shooter?
No, it is not.
Oh.
It is a third-person survival game.
Is there shooting at all?
There's shooting, but there's also melee weapons to bash the zombies. And I lost Oscar.
No. I mean, well, yes. What, you put the word zombies in there and I'm gone. But, I don't know, like, I can't do shooting on a console anymore.
It's super duper friendly, but yes, I know you.
It's like a third-person shooting, right?
Yeah, it's third person with gigantic crosshairs to, just be super forgiving about where you shoot at.
I need 4 Titanite shards to level up this scythe again? Ugh.
What's it at? Plus 2?
Plus 1.
Plus 2 is pretty good for how early you are in the game, honestly.
It's a plus 1.
Oh, okay. I mean, for where you're at, that's fine.
But this other one, my sword is plus 2, and it only needs 3 to go up to plus 3. I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna equip the scythe because I want to use it.
Yeah, just use the scythe. It's not all about the number anyway.
Just start screaming Scyther though, Oscar, because...
Scyther! Oh, it's one-handed. Or do I need to use it two-handed?
You can. I don't think any of the weapons require two-handed. Every weapon in the game can be utilized either way.
Okay, because I thought I remember in some of the earlier Dark Souls, like you had to have a certain strength to use one-handed, or maybe that was D&D. That might have been D&D.
So the way it works, the weapons have a minimum strength and dex. You can still equip them even if you don't meet those numbers. It's just it doesn't work as well, and it costs like a ton of stamina for every attack.
No, I can't use a shield while I use the great scythe. I fat roll.
Okay. I mean, you don't really block anyway.
Smaller shield.
You could just use it two-handed.
You could just use it two-handed.
Just no shield. Just free ball it. But when you equip a weapon in two-handed, as opposed to one-handed, it counts your strength and dex. No, it counts your strength as if it was 50% higher than what it actually is.
Ah.
So the minimum strength and dex is the minimum to use it one-handed without. You get a little. You get a little help on the strength.
You jerk.
Oh, yeah, these guys. I hate these guys.
It does take one more swing to kill him with the scythe. But the scythe is also like way cooler than a sword.
And it's got more reach than the broadsword.
I don't know, Louis. Just coming from Bloodborne, I feel like I'm like I don't know. Shields are just kind of eh. And plus,
I mean, that's fine.
Every time I try to block, I just get like real staggered, and everything is bad.
I think the problem with that, I noticed when you were using the shield, you would get in, attack a bunch, and then try to block. Because every time you block with a shield, it costs you some stamina. And if blocking with a shield causes you to hit 0 stamina, that's when the shield flies back and you're staggered. So you would only use it when you were low on stamina anyway. So that was your problem. But I mean, if you want to run no shield, that is completely viable and would free up some equip load.
Gotta top up at this here bonfire. Keep practicing killing these branch dudes. I don't know who that was.
That was Austin again.
Oh. He probably just shouldn't try to Discord at work.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's slow at work, but
I feel that's kind of like gonna get him fired.
No.
Yeah, managers are jerks. Like they don't, especially in retail. It's like even if it's literally no one there, and there's nothing to do. Like if they see you like talking to people on your phone, they're gonna get pissed because that's what retail managers do.
Yes, and then whenever they get pissed, they fire you, and then Austin will be fired from another job.
Yeah.
There was a girl at Kroger who got fired, but she was on her phone like while dealing with customers, which I guess is what Austin does. But she was pretty blatant about it.
Which we just heard him actually do.
Yeah, I think what he did was, like, a customer comes up, he probably just throws the phone in his pocket real quick. And doesn't have time to mute it.
But she would just be Facebooking while talking to customers, like while they're trying to pay for their stuff.
Was she like a teenager or something?
Maybe? Oh god, I died. I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, also, Hunter. So I bought a new tabletop RPG game again. This one, it's called Mutants in the Night. It's basically X-Men.
Now that sounds fun. Although I'm super duper set on Beam Saber because I've been on a Gundam kick and I am a super giant robot.
Right. Well, when I say I bought a new thing, just understand I buy way more systems than we will ever play, and I am fully aware of this when I buy it. I just enjoy reading them sometimes as just like a game design exercise in a way.
I think you kind of have a problem.
Nah, it's fine. I can stop whenever I want. I just don't want to.
I have a friend of mine, a lady friend, who's going into alcoholism rehab, and yeah, addiction's a serious game.
I mean, it's just what I read now. Like, I used to spend a ton of money on comic books to read. Now I just read tabletop RPG rulebooks instead.
And also comic books.
Actually, I haven't read a comic book in a long time.
Why are there so many of these dudes?
Oh, one thing that helps for really like crowded areas like this is using like throwing knives to pull. That might help. Especially these dudes really suck with the big pikes.
They're not pikes, they're just branches.
They're functionally pikes. And actually, if you want to get a pike, like an actual pike, these are the dudes you need to farm. They have a very, very small chance of dropping them.
Oh god, you're a big crab. I'm sorry I killed your babies. Actually, I'm not.
With the crabbo, get the stabbo.
They give me souls when I kill them. Actually, he's not trying to stabbo, he's trying to smusho.
Smabbo? Smabbo? Is that a thing? It's probably not a thing.
Oh, is he fighting the dudes? No, maybe not.
Louise, you know what's really hard to do?
What?
Go all melee in Skyrim. Because fucking dragons.
I'm trying to think how much... Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it, but I didn't play melee too much in the game. Yeah. Yeah, I was mostly like sneaky archer and
Because
stuff
everyone's
like that.
a sneaky archer in Skyrim. Well,
Honestly, it is the most broken.
I tried you playing, Louise, and I pulled
They see,
3
yeah.
of them.
Oh, yeah, you got too close, I think.
I got a crass great shield. It's not super happy.
Oh, that one's actually has a passive ability where it gives you a little bit of stamina regen, even when it's on your back.
Nice.
So if you have a little bit of equipment load and you're two-handing something, it's good to put on your back.
Right, let me get to... Oop, there's a dude. Let me get to a place where I'm not constantly trying to be murdered.
I think you're kind of close to a bonfire.
I mean, I'm not too far from the last bonfire I found.
I kind of got a little turned around as to the geography of where you're at.
Like, I'm right at... Where do these guys just keep coming from?
You're pretty close to where you came down,
Yes.
like first entered the zone into. Yeah, so that's not it.
Do I have... Where's the... I also got the Twin Dragon Breed Shield. That's super heavy. No, that's gonna take me above 70%. Also, it does turn red if you go over your... If you go into
Okay.
fat roll territory.
Okay, cool.
I take that peace sign. Upside down peace sign. Oh, here's a bonfire.
What's the scythe's weapon art? I forget.
Just a big slice. It's called slash. Neck swipe. The attack aims for the scruff of a foe's neck, and when successful, functions as a headshot, inflicting heavy damage.
Okay.
Crabs don't have necks, though. Is there anything important, like, out in the swamp? Or is it just crabs?
There is lots of loot out.
Oh, here's a dude with a crucifix on his back. Oh, God. Cheese it.
I'm only now getting the notification that you've gone online.
Look, I didn't design Twitch.
No, yeah. No, I mean, that's not a complaint leveled at you. That's just like, come on, Twitch, get your stuff together.
Demon's Great Axe. This Great Axe, a favorite among demons. I never would have guessed Dark Souls. So, my next stat point might go into Vitality, so I can put that shield on my back.
All right, Louise, what I've posted up is from Robot Jocks, and it is a terrible yet awesome robot fighting movie from the 80s.
Okay. I am hitting play.
Mash go on that jam box. Go ahead and hit your neighbor. Go ahead and cheat up the rain. Ooh, I got a bunch of fallen knight armors. I'm gonna have to look at those because I'm tired of just staring at this same old starting equipment I got. God, jumping is useless in this game. I can't figure out how to. You gotta figure out how to get up on this ledge. I mean, being summoned to another world. What does that mean? What happened?
Wait a minute. Oh, you equipped a covenant thing, right?
Right?
That's what being in a covenant means. Okay, so you equip the Way of the Blue, I think. Okay. So on the plus side, there is no
Penalty for failure?
yes, there's no penalty for failure, so don't worry about losing anything. So for what you got summoned in, because there's like two like related covenants. One of them is basically you equip the thing, and if you get invaded by a hostile invader, it will summon people from the second covenant to help you as a blue spirit. You are currently a blue spirit in someone's game to help them against an invader.
Proof of Concord kept.
Oh, okay. The host did fine on his own, and you got a thing out of it.
Woo! I am the champion. How do I get up here? I don't see anything up there. What's this? Oh, I see. I think I see anyway. What's up with these crabs?
It must have been a lot more fun to be like a special effects guy back in like these times of like this robot jocks thing, because like, oh, we need to have a giant robot fight, so you're actually gonna build a giant robot and make the mechanisms and all that stuff. Nowadays it's like, oh, we're just gonna hire some dudes to sit at a computer and code it all,
Did you see that thing I tweeted the other day about Goro and like the animatronic suit that brought him to life? It should still be pretty recently if you go to my Twitter profile, because it's just like, it's basically a hat. The top half of Goro is just basically a hat.
Huh. Let me check on your thing.
You know what, I'm gonna go.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm looking at that. Huh. Isn't that something?
Yeah, and like, I thought that maybe they'd just like done some, like, I honestly didn't know how they did it, but like, looking at that, that's amazing. And it's doubly amazing because they didn't use computers to do it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like poo-pooing on CG artists, but like, oh god, practical effects. Even when practical effects are bad, I feel like at least they're still like there. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah, no, I totally
there's like
get
a
it.
physical presence that you feel.
Like, practical effects are like, yeah, you can do stuff a lot more easily with a computer, and just because it's easier doesn't mean that it's worse, but like, it's just like the ingenuity and the inventiveness that people have to come up with for,
Yeah.
For that kind of thing.
If you want to see a really good application of practical effects, watch John Carpenter's The Thing.
You will not like it, Louise.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It is very,
I'm
very
sure it
good.
is, but I'm a big poopy baby.
Well, it's... Well, okay, no, I'm not gonna say there's no big jump scares. Because there are. But mostly it's like slow burn. It's like slow burn psychological thriller.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd call it slow burn. I just think it's like, hey, there's a gigantic monster and it could be anybody.
It's got,
Yeah, and at that point, I would have spooked my pants.
It's got Keith David in it.
What if someone made a fan edit where they removed the monster?
You can't really remove the monster. I feel like...
What if they CGI'd the over the monster with
that would
like
be the
some kittens and a pile of cupcakes?
I was gonna say, what if they CGI'd the monster would be the 2011 remake. And what's even weirder is that the movie was shot with practical effects, and then some executive told him to CGI over everything, and it looks worse.
What year was that?
2011.
Huh. They need to release the Snyder cut of that one.
It's got Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it. She's like the only
thing?
Yeah. And she's like the only big name in that movie.
Who is she again? The name seems familiar, but I don't remember what
She
she's
was
in.
Ramona Flowers.
Okay.
Also, if you've seen 10 Cloverfield Lane, she's in that. The remake of Black Christmas. But that was before she kind of got big.
Heads up, she's super attractive, so she got the movie some popularity.
She's not unattractive, no.
I find her extremely attractive. So.
No, I was agreeing with you. Just in a roundabout way. She's also married to somebody whose name I can never remember.
That's fine. She just needs to meet me.
That
And we'll get married. Then she'll divorce him. We'll get married, and we'll have lots of kids.
that's the story you want to tell your grandchildren. Yeah, I met your mother while she was married to some other dude.
Your mother was in an extremely unhappy relationship. Then she met me.
You don't know they're unhappy.
She'd
So
realize
she was married. So I arranged for an elaborate series of unfortunate events to occur that may or may not have involved a net, several rabid dogs, yada yada yada. Now we're married.
Me wearing a series of costumes and posing as a multitude of different characters.
Surprise, Grandpa!
I am an actor.
Surprise, Grandpa is basically Peter Sellers' kids. Who's Peter Sellers? He died before Grandpa was born. Actually, I think Peter Sellers died in the 90s, so, you know, not 100% true. Why are you so aggressive?
Wait, you got summoned even though you're in offline mode? I didn't know that worked.
No, I turned it online mode on. And you didn't tell me being summoned was a thing that could happen.
Oh, well that's okay. Like you can just not equip the Covenant thing if you don't want that to happen. But again, there is no risk to you at all with being summoned. Because I think if you go and you succeed, when it loads you back in, it also refills your Estus.
Do it in the name of... Oh, what? Why are you here?
I mean, in that guy's defense, it was just sitting there until you hit it with a scythe.
Look. If they didn't want me to kill them, they wouldn't be made of tasty, tasty souls. Okay, that seems like a dead end over there. And not just because those dudes jumped on me. I salute this game for not using a map, but my spatial awareness is garbage.
Yeah, it really takes a while, and this swamp is kind of like a little bit weird.
I see an item over there next to another giant crab. And I do honestly feel like whoop crab. I do honestly feel like having played Bloodborne gives me a lot better, like, the skill sets carry over to a degree.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's part of the reason I'm doing pretty good here.
Yeah, you are doing really well.
Also, in Bloodborne, I feel like it is a little easier to get lost because everything's just like one big city mostly, at least in the early game. Whereas this game, you get at least a little bit of a diverse sort of biome situation going on. I'm in deep water. I'm deep water, that bad water, that dark water. Glass crab coming for me.
Oh, and you fat roll too while you're here.
Alright. Well, I was gonna say, I got distracted by that item. Because I was gonna say my next goal is to reach a bonfire so that I can cash in these souls. But now I'm going to go turn in that Estus shard I got, and then try to get those, check out some of the equipment I've been getting, and then try to get my souls back, I guess. What's like the most Estus I'm ever gonna get is like
I want to say like 10-ish. I forget.
the Fallen Night Helm has less defense but looks cooler and is lighter.
Yeah. I mean,
you're already dying like
because
3 or 4 hits anyway.
yeah, that might be worth it because then you can, if you're wanting to use a shield, but I think you mentioned you're just probably not going to use a shield.
Also, like, all of my resistances are worse, but I'm gonna look cool. Oh god, I look so cool.
Let me see. My thing is a few seconds behind.
Squish is very much enjoying watching me play Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have all these mods with bugs and birds and everything like that, so she's just sitting here staring at the screen.
It turns all the trees into hands.
God, the dragons are Thomas the Tank Engine.
No, I made everything pretty, not terrifying.
That series is ruined now.
Oh, because Griffin's not at Polygon anymore.
Hmm?
Okay, is it because Griffin's not at Polygon anymore?
No, because Nick Robinson, there was like a sexual harassment thing.
Ew.
He got fired. That's why he suddenly stopped doing series with Griffin.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which really sucks because I really liked Carboys and Touch the Skyrim, and now those are kind of tainted.
Ha, you said taint.
I did say taint.
So here's a question. So if a guy gets, caught, is accused and found guilty of sexual harassment or whatever, and he pays the time and he goes through, sexual harassment courses and everything like that, and he admits that he did it openly, and he does work on getting to be a better person and everything like that, and bring up awareness of it, can he make up for the fact that he did it, or will he forever be tainted in your eyes?
So it's a case-by-case thing. Like going to courses and doing jail time, paying a fine, whatever, is like that kind of doesn't matter, I feel like.
Yeah, because that's just stuff you're legally obligated to do.
No, I know, that's just stuff legally obligated to do. I mean, like, he admits to it, he says that yes, he did these things, and now he's trying to bring out awareness of it, yada yada.
Well, I mean, that's another thing that's just kind of like lip service.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, two ways that, like, dudes have been responding to this. One is just, like, deny, and the other is, like I guess, like, the Louis C.K. route or whatever, where it's like, oh, yes, I put out a thing, and like, oh yes, I regret what I've done, I'm gonna blah blah blah. Like, I mean,
so there really is no way for them to do it, it's just how you feel about it versus,
I mean, there's a way, there's a way that you can be like, but it all starts with like contrition, like you have to realize that you may never be forgiven, but still work at it. And like, I mean, because it's an awful, awful thing to do, right? Like it's not like, oh, I'm being chased by giant crabs and dudes on crucifixes and just all sorts of things, shenanigans are happening. Like,
just popping in for a quick sec. I noticed that someone posted a picture of something that looked like a spider mech. I wanted to make sure I wasn't being IP thefted.
You're IP thieving, Austin.
Yeah,
I am not.
And well, possession is 9/10 of the law. He thieved that IP, and it's his IP now. That's how it works. So he's.
I birthed it out of my brain. It's
Also,
my brain child.
Austin, we're worried about you. Maybe don't Discord at work.
It is so slow.
Duh. I
Yeah,
mean,
but like retail managers don't care. Like,
if you can lean, you can clean, Austin.
I've got good news, Louise. I haven't seen a manager in the store in like 4 hours. So
Yeah, so they're primed to check up on you.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, you do you, but just be careful.
I am.
Like-
Don't worry. I am currently hunched over a counter. They probably can't even see my phone in my hand.
I mean, I have seen people get fired for less than what you were doing.
They seem to be kind of remiss to let people go here.
I mean, remiss doesn't mean that they won't do it.
Yeah, and that's their policy now until the regional manager complains, like, oh, we got an old lady who said that this boy was talking on his phone.
Oh,
Right?
bonfire.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, we're just concerned.
We're your friends, and we want to make sure that you, bravery required ahead, that you get to continue to be the best version of you that you can be. Are these leeches?
Well, I'm very happy that you think that. Hey, Tiki, what's up? So, you're probably like my boss, right? Yeah?
What happened?
Nothing. I'm just talking to some friends here, and they're concerned that I'm on my phone at work.
Oh no, you're fine. He's good.
See?
Yeah, but can she fire you?
No, but I don't think there's anyone here in the store right now who can fire him.
See,
That's fine. I mean, you're a grown man. You make your own decisions. But at any rate, so I guess to what you were saying, Hunter, it is if it was someone who I knew in my personal life, who I could somehow like observe and get a sense for, like how genuine their like contrition and whatnot is on it, like then that would play a part in my judgment of it. But we have to recognize that when it comes to celebrities, we do not know these people. Like we do not know these people. We can watch all the movies and read their social media and their interviews and their blah blah blah. We do not know these people. They are literally actors.
So
like there is absolutely no way to judge the genuineness of the things they say. So I am going to err on the side of caution, and there is no shortage of this world. No one talented man is like too precious that we can't throw him away. Like no man is indispensable, no woman is disposable, essentially. And I guess it's not even necessarily just a gender thing, because men get harassed too, but like no abuser is indispensable and no victim is disposable. So since we cannot judge the veracity and the genuineness, I'm just going to err on the side of like no, just like no, not gonna really forgive.
Heck 'em.
All right, I accept that point of view.
I mean, I will say there are some instances like, so Dan Harmon is an interesting case, right? I remember there was a woman on staff who said like he harassed her or whatever, and she came out publicly about it, and he was like,
if someone is coming in.
And he was like, oh shit, oh I'm sorry, good night everybody.
Good night, everybody.
And she was like, he like his response was like, oh, I'm sorry, and like he actually had like a conversation with her on Twitter, and like she's like, oh okay, well let's talk about this, and like, and it was a point where like the person who leveled the accusation said like, okay, I believe like he is genuine and I accept his apology and all that. If it's something where like, I feel like that was an interesting, unusual case, because that was an instance of like, at the very least 100% of the people who came forward about it said he is genuine, I accept his apology. In that case, I'm kind of willing to defer to her assessment of the situation, given the kind of the circumstances. But that is like a very unique exception to how these things have worked. So yeah, so that is my general policy on these kinds of things.
Do I have armor that will increase my poison resist? Oh, it
You
looks
got
like it's
a shroud that has pretty high poison resist as soon as you came in here.
Also,
it's gonna reduce my cool
I don't
factor.
get off until 11, and I knew that most of you would be gone by then. I wanted to talk to my friends.
Okay, Austin. So what are you looking at bringing into the game?
Also, I just chose grayskin for my lady.
The beam saber thing? Is that what we're talking about?
I'm assuming that's what he means.
What?
I'm gonna bring us a giant mechanical spider, not like the one from Wild Wild West, a cooler one.
It's been a while since I've seen Wild Wild West. Are we sure that one was not also cool?
It was a giant steampunk spider, which is pretty cool.
Like on paper, that sounds cool.
So you're going to be walking out there in a robot jock spider mech, right?
Jim West, Desperado.
It's kind of like, have you seen Ghost in the Shell?
Yes, the Tachikoma or the big ass heavy tank.
I'm basing it on the Tachikoma, only bigger and with more legs.
Just scaled up.
God, there's like a
Because the
million
Tachikoma
items
only
in
has
this swamp.
4 legs.
Also, I'm poisoned.
So the gigantic heavy tank one, yeah?
Did they have? I didn't watch a whole lot of Ghost in the Shell. Can you post a picture of one of them?
I think that's the one he posted earlier.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that?
the one that you were accusing him of IP theft for.
Yeah, but I like how sleek the Tachikoma looks.
I mean, that's fine. You can just use the one you like, and we'll just scale it up. Well, actually, what I was interested in was kind of that same question, but instead of like your character, because first we're gonna create like probably hundreds, if not thousands, of years of history
And that
for
is
this world.
Something wrong with the gas cap and the place where the gas was held. He said it was kind of like wasn't venting correctly. Bring it up.
Well,
There's a discount code over here.
It's in the book.
I'm just gonna stack poison resist.
Do you have any purple moss?
I
Oh,
don't.
look how apropos the load screen thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I do. And I just lost all my souls, so I can't go buy any.
And the cash, because we need to count the cash. Yeah. It's only one. Didn't we get the cash out of the other one or not?
That was just a pickup for.
Gonna lower Austin's
Oh
volume.
God, I look so cool. No, I'm being summoned. Oh God, Louise, you said this wouldn't be a. You said this wouldn't be an all the time thing.
I mean, it's not all the time, but it's sometimes. I mean, if you don't want to be summoned, just take the thing off.
How do I get down from here?
Yeah.
Just drop. Just drop.
Probably need some sleep.
Oh, there's a lot going on. Oh, this is the undead settlement again.
Yep.
Oh man, there's a regular. It's a good old-fashioned slobber knocker. It's a barn burner.
I don't think he would care.
No. Probably not.
Something like really sleek and cool.
But so I think you got a little interrupted when we were saying it, but Hunter was actually, I think he had mentioned, he was actually thinking less in terms of like what your specific mech is, but more like for the Microsoft game, we're going to be creating the history of the world. Yeah.
Yes, I did have some
Like,
ideas.
did you have any, like, you know, keep them real loose because we gotta, you know, we gotta do it collaboratively. But any
Yeah,
like,
I wrote like a bullet point note of things I wanted to see in the world. Like just sort of general sci-fi things that I enjoy.
mm-hmm.
Space elevators.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cool.
Also impractical
that.
and probably impossible.
Yeah, but this is anime.
Nope, I ban him.
They're not that impractical or impossible. I mean, being set up around the equator of planets is exactly what they try to do.
So yeah, I like the idea of having like a couple, like maybe a handful of space elevators, and they're probably controlled by like different factions or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's how the default setting for Beam Saber is kind of set up. Like the Earth has a lot of like satellite debris, so launching shuttles and rockets and stuff is a little tricky. So but there are like some particular space elevators or whatever that are
Definitely, I
kind of
know
more
we wanted to
fortified.
go. I know we're kind of embracing the anime stuff, but since it's and on that note, while anime can tend to be sort of whimsical, a lot of mech anime tends to be a little sort of like
Melodramatic.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to see any of the Wait Them S team?
no, I actually watched
Every
the
time you
first
say
couple
that,
episodes
Hunter, all I hear is wait them ST.
I watched the first couple episodes of Gurren Lagann though.
Gurren Lagann is a pretty badass one, but it's also kind of standout from Gundam. Gundam is very much different. At least
is there a way for me?
much
Is there a
of the
way?
UC is.
Is there like a legal and also free way for me to watch that specific thing?
Watch a ton of it on YouTube.
And what is it called?
The 8th MS team.
I think I checked the other day and it was on Daily Motion. I didn't actually check YouTube.
Yeah, but in terms of like the feel, I definitely want some Ghost in the Shell notes because I like that world a lot. It's sort of like a dark, I guess you'd classify it as like cyberpunk maybe.
Yeah. Ghost in the Shell is very much cyberpunk. So you want to bring in some cyberpunk elements to it.
I really do.
Like what kind of cyberpunk elements? Are we talking about like a neural interface to jack into the mech? Like
Definitely.
limbs?
Yeah, I definitely want a world where, like, people like if you want to hack something, you have to like jack into it. It seems very mechanical. Not like that, but maybe. We'll see where it goes.
By that, do you mean like if you want to hack something, you wouldn't be able to do it wirelessly? Like you need to like actually plug in your USB cable, or
you could probably do it wirelessly because I feel like that'd be more convenient. But I definitely like the idea of like cyber to cyber augmented people. I don't know. It's just sort of it's like a general
Like Jim West, Desperado.
Yeah, Jim
Guys,
West
can they just
was
do
a
Wild
cyber
Wild
soldier.
West? If we just RP Wild Wild West, I'm in.
Well, if you think about the bad guy in Wild Wild West, he was basically part mech.
I mean, he was really just like a half a guy in a wheelchair, but
There is a squad in Gundam. I think it's called Thunderbolt or whatever. It's also based in the UC, the Universal Century. They're called the Living Dead. Battle scarred, battle veterans, and everything, and they're all missing limbs and have cybernetic arms, legs, what have you. So yeah, very much that is a cool thing that happened there.
Star Fox. In Star Fox, all the pilots cut their legs off to reduce the chance of the pilots passing out in 0G.
That's not how that works.
It actually super is, because when you fly at supersonic speeds, all the blood goes to your legs.
So it would just pull up in their lower half of their body.
Right, but because there are ways to counter what happened. There are ways to counteract that. Why did I? Oh God.
There are actual ways, like having your legs cut off and everything like that, and having your torso be the blood pooling area. It's much better than having your legs be the blood pooling area.
Yeah, you gotta work a lot harder. You're gonna have to work a lot harder to get that blood back up.
But like, if you cut off your legs, wouldn't you be drastically reducing like the volume of blood in your body?
Not necessarily.
I mean, it seems like I would imagine so, right?
I mean, you don't need as much blood in your body because there's not much of your body anymore. So,
Which
I feel like
kind of
everyone's
connects
less
to a
blood.
thought I've had that, like, okay, so hypothetically, if someone were like really, really big and fat, like really big and fat. So they have more surface area, right? So they have more skin, like, so they have more surface area to feel things. If someone like were then to like lose a bunch of weight and then like have less surface area, could you think that like, or you know, or in the other direction, do you think they'd be able to tell the difference that like they can feel more at the same time just because they have more skin and surface area? Is that a thing?
I'm not a doctor. That sounds like a question for a doctor.
Right. I know none of us are qualified to answer the question.
As someone who
Let's
has
answer
lost,
it anyway.
as someone who has lost a lot of weight, whenever you're a larger dude, you have a lot more skin area, a lot more surface area, but you actually have less feeling on your skin because your skin is stretched out. You have poor circulation. Your body can't handle it as well.
So is it something where it's kind of like like your nerves or whatever, like the feeling sensation is like spread out over that surface area, so it's almost like it's diluted in a way?
Yes. Yes.
Interesting, because I thought that was also a possible.
After losing so much weight, I'm down like 25, almost 30 pounds. Chest, it's not nearly as diluted. Like if I ran my hand across the underside of my stomach when I was big and fat, I couldn't really feel it that well. Now if I do it, I feel it extremely well because blood circulation is much better.
That's something you did often?
Whenever you just put your hand down there and rub your tummy.
I don't.
Weirdo.
Yeah, weirdo.
I'm yucking your yum right now.
Consider your yum yucked. I'm awash in Titanite shards.
So okay, so Austin, those are interesting things from Austin. What about you, Hunter? Any initial thoughts?
I mean, obviously, Gundam kind of thing, but also kind of like the Dune thing, with like noble houses and nobility in space. And
I mean, they're noble, but they're not like noble.
There's still nobility, but like
I call being Kyle
duchy
McLaughlin
and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, that is how Hunter do. Hunter likes his noble houses.
Do?
I will. I do have to let you know ahead of time. My limitations at a GM. I am not good at writing political intrigue. It is not a skill that I have. So if that's like a means of
intrigue, no.
Yeah.
No. It's much more like, Mech Warrior. Mech Warrior Battletech.
Never.
Do you have any idea what Mech Warrior Battletech World was?
Wait, there was a.
I watched the trailer for the most recent game, and I was like, "Hey, that looks cool."
All right, so Mech Warrior is basically giant mech combat in the Dune kind of world. There are noble houses, there's nobility, there's these nations and kings and all that kind of stuff, and emperors.
I mean,
but all of it doesn't really matter because you're just a grunt. You're just a mech warrior working for this. You're like, yay, go this team.
So it's kind of like a song in Ice and
What team am I fighting for now?
So it's kind of like a Song of Ice and Fire from the commoner's perspective.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
Listen, children, to my story. It was written long ago.
Obviously, yes, but like, what about Gundam? Let's real narrow that down. Like, what about Gundam do you like? What's real specific particular elements are you looking for?
There can't be racism.
Why would there be what?
Because that one really, kind of racist Gundam one where.
Oh, G Gundam, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Okay.
Like, no on the G Gundam. Like UC Century is what I like the most because it's very much kind of just soldiers kind of point of view. War is hell. Oh my god, etc. etc.
I like the
yeah, and
Gundams
that's-
where it's silly.
Well, I also like silly things, but the way I feel, like the way I think we should do it is like, whatever level of silliness we try to aim for, like on the sliding scale, like whatever we aim for, just the nature of RPGs, we're gonna end up like a few notches in the direction of silly from there. So I don't want us to like start with silly, because then we're going to end up cartoony. I would like to start at least serious, and then it will end up sillier because that's just the natural,
Exactly.
entropy of things.
If we go way too silly right off the bat, I'll be honest, I'll probably lose a lot of interest.
And me too, kind of.
So it starts off like really grim, dark, and it's like any anime. Like it starts off, the first episode's really dark and like, oh, war is hell, and then
And then by our third session, we'll have a hot springs
beach
episode.
As the team learns, gets to know each other, gets to work together,
Oh, can we
better relations.
please have a hot springs episode?
Either a hot springs or a beach episode, because
Or a festival episode.
mobile colony.
I mean, can it be like a beach that also has hot springs? Is that a thing?
Yes, of course. That's our world.
On a space station, anything is possible.
It's a beach that is fed by hot springs. Don't ask how it works.
Wait a minute. So, are we assuming space station?
I want orbital space stations.
Okay, there are orbital space. Okay, so that's also a thing that wasn't necessarily assumed. I feel like.
In the in the Universal Century for Gundam, there are many space stations.
Right.
One of the
Now,
whole thing. There's
coming up
huge
to a big
groups
door.
of them. One of the groups decided to declare independence, and they became the Duchy of Zeon, and they went to war.
Isn't it
with
pronounced Dookie?
No. The
Dookie. How do you spell that? D-U-C-H-Y. Let's see.
Yes.
Because I feel like, I mean, I know they might pronounce it Duchy in the show, but in Final Fantasy XII they pronounced Marquis Marquis. So.
Final Fantasy XII also pronounces manufactured stuff manufacted. So Final Fantasy XII is not a great example.
I mean, Wicked uses the word disgustified. Actually, Wicked makes up a lot of words, and I kind of respect it for that.
Yeah, I mean, language is a... Okay, so according to Google, it is pronounced Duchy. Duchy. It's a schwa for the first syllable.
They did their homework.
But anyway, so because what I was gonna say, like, yeah, I know in Gundam, like orbital space stations, and even not necessarily orbital, just like deep space stations and things like that are pretty common. But
Okay,
that
so I gotta
just because it's in
extinguish
Gundam doesn't
two
mean
more
that's how we're doing it.
things.
Like, I don't necessarily want to keep like a slavish devotion to
I'm
Gundam.
not talking about a slavish devotion at all. I'm saying those space station ideas are cool because there's lots of different space stations. They can all be at war, different alliances, all the crazy stuff. Because again, war is hell.
Louise just said he wasn't good at political intrigue.
Oh well, political intrigue. By that I mean like, oh, there's court drama and like.
What is that? What is that?
Oh man, now I'm excited for my stream to catch up and see what you're talking about.
It's just like a big massive swamp, but it's alive.
Across those guys yet. But yeah, absolutely. To me, like the whole, I mean, there's a lot of different mech, like kind of subgenres. But to me, what interests me is the very much like soldier's perspective, war is hell. Absolutely, that is 100% what I was hoping we would go for with this, and that's what I want to specifically.
And also another thing I like about Beam Saber is it asks like, who was your character before the war? Like, what did they do? Because we're all soldiers now, but we weren't always soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Sure.
Yeah.
no, I
And
think
that
you
kinda-
might be misremembering what 76 says. He says, we were always soldiers now.
We were always soldiers now and previously.
We were always get off my lawn, you small soldiers.
You want a medal?
Also, Louise, Louise, with colony drop.
Possibly.
Colony
Although
So,
weapons is terrifying.
although I was like I think I mentioned before, I do want to avoid like massive super weapons, and that might get a little close to that. So, but we'll see.
Oh, here's a pot. Someone's a cooking a dinner. Saint to
Like,
heaven.
I forgot about it, but they did that in Gundam. They dropped a colony. They dropped a colony on Sydney, and took out a chunk of the
Oh
Australian
God, should I
continent.
drink this? Should I drink the Estes soup? I'm gonna drink the Estes soup.
Oh yeah, it's Estes. It's fine.
Okay.
It's good. It's healthy. It sticks to your ribs, which
Like-
is such a weird expression. Isn't that like a?
I mean, not really. I mean, I get, what it's trying to say. It stays with. It's a meal that stays with you.
Yeah, I know what it means, but whenever I hear that, it just creeps me out. I just have this like mental image of like bits of meat just like floating around
Like-
in my chest cavity, under my skin, and
Louise,
above my ribs.
Louise, I have something that may shock you. That's what your body is.
Right, but that's okay because that's part of me. Like, I don't like the idea of me
That's his meat.
like eating a hot dog and then like hot dog bits floating around
I
like
don't think-
between under my skin.
I don't think hot dog is a food that's supposed to stick to your ribs. Like usually that's like super carb rich. So what is this, Wolf?
like,
Is this gonna come alive and eat me?
My mother used to use that term for hot oatmeal.
Yeah, something like really carby and then like full like pancakes or oatmeal or pray to old Wolf of Pharaon. Legion etiquette. Oh, I can ask to join the Covenant. Watchdogs of Pharaon. We have gained proof of the Covenant.
But yeah, so
Oh, I
going
have
back to what
Wolf's
Austin
Blood
was saying, and I
Swords
think he
Grass.
muted and oh no, there he is. He's back. Yes, I also like that that whole like, oh, what were you before you were a soldier, before you were a pilot? Because that also kind of ties into one of the themes that I have wanted to have, which is like this, like the war is a thing that is all encompassing, like conscription, like every able-bodied person has to serve, it's not optional to like all of like society, basically, like it is inescapable. So it's not necessarily like, oh, everyone signed up or whatever. It's like, no, everyone in society has to play their part. Like really, like
that's
like kind of like World War II, like at its height, like the whole like, oh yes, there's soldiers over there, but then there's the home front, and everyone's doing their part and rationing and working in the factories, building fighter jets and stuff like that.
That is something that I'm
Using cardboard cutout Monopoly pieces because metal is needed for the war effort.
Yeah, exactly. And like women giving up their silk stockings to make parachutes and all that stuff.
Imagine like a Rosie the Riveter, but she's building mechs.
What if it's Rosie the Riveter, but she is a mech?
Oh, that can be your mech's name,
Oh
Rosie.
my God, what is
Rosie.
this?
You just hold up your big
It
metal
kind of looks like
bicep.
the Abyss Demon from Demon Souls.
And for a weapon, she actually has like a huge rivet gun.
Oh,
That's real cool.
What? This isn't
That
even
is
a
pretty
boss? Oh God!
because Like, you want to damage a mech? How about putting a gigantic rivet through it?
Just ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Just like right into the cockpit.
That's terrifying.
That is terrifying. But yeah, I very much want that, but like I feel like for the most part, you know, us in, you know, allies countries, we have kind of, and I guess especially in the U.S. because we were spared most of the horror of actually, you know, getting bombed like England and, you know, other European countries or France and stuff like that. Like the home front has like a very kind of like positive, I feel like, connotation in most people's minds. I want more of like, imagine if we had a home front like World War II style, like for like a war that just sucked, you know?
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing, and it's just like everyone is exhausted.
So
and like,
imagine that we're in France during World War II. Got it.
yeah, except at least in France they were fighting Nazis, you know?
Yeah.
Like imagine if the war on terror had like a World War II home front where everyone had to participate, and it's like, really, what are we even still there for? It's been 17 years, you know, like why are we, can we just, and it's like I don't want to have to only eat meat 2 days a week.
That's another thing I like about like.
I mean,
like,
that's not so bad, Louise.
That's another aspect I like about war anime. It's like, to the point, like it's been so long that no one really even remembers why they're fighting.
So
That
I'm with
poor boy.
So I'm with Chris about making this a harem anime now.
All except all the girls are giant mechs.
Wait, which poor boy?
Oh, I was watching you fight the old demon, and his legs crumbled from under him.
I mean, he dealt like 90% of my hit bar in one hit. In one hit. I don't think he's the
Also,
poor boy from a poor
In
family.
honor of summer in Texas, can one of the enemy mechs just be a giant mosquito mech that has like this like razor sharp proboscis that stabs into your mech?
I like this idea. I am making a note.
I did see
Okay.
my first mosquito of the season yesterday.
I saw my first mosquito of the season like 2 seconds ago.
Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. I still have yet to see a mosquito.
Yeah, good news. I'm gonna catch like a whole box full and UPS it to you.
And I'll throw it outside for the bats.
Imagine if someone genetically engineered bats and mosquitoes together, so it was just like a cartoon
Both
vampire
those
bat.
stupid crystal shrimps got away.
Just fly around, but it had like a big needle instead of fangs, and just drain your blood. As it's
I was
like
thinking the
grab onto your
opposite.
face, and it's like slapping you in the face with its wings while it's draining your blood.
I was thinking more like, you were thinking body of a bat, but the mosquito proboscis. I was thinking like a large
Proboscis.
mosquito with the mouth of a bat. But I think the proboscis is scarier.
Yeah.
You don't know what that thing's been. It's
Come back here, crystal shrimp.
Yeah, but as much as it's kind of, you know, trying to have our cake and eat it too, because, like, you know, giant mechs are awesome, and I want to have giant robot fights, but like, I do like, you know, I want it to be something where like the tone of the game and series over, you know, the show we are creating is like, war is hell, war sucks, like, you know, and kind of like, you know, Starship Troopers, like, war makes fascists of us all, you know. Even though we are going to be saying that at the same time as, like, I'm going to be taking great joy in creating giant robot battles.
Oh shit.
I mean,
I just got an idea for my character. Thank you, Louise.
I mean, I don't know. I think we can have our cake and eat it too,
Everyone fights. No one quits.
because it's like, yeah, it's real dark and stuff.
Never
but
give up. Never surrender.
But like it's real dark, but then mech fights.
Yeah, because I mean we just have to acknowledge the human condition that like violence is
yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, well, yeah,
also
maybe
have to have the trademark 2 kids on the ship.
maybe it's cathartic in a way. Like the battling of mechs is kind of like a brief reprieve from the sort of toils of day-to-day life.
This is why.
Like the rush of adrenaline, like the potential for, you know, yeah. And Chris is just going to be Duo from Gundam anyway.
Yeah, just blatant plagiarism.
I mean, he was just Spike Spiegel for that other one.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty. I know we still have a Microsoft sketch session to get through, but I'm pretty stoked for like the character that I've created. It's really different from what I normally do.
I'm excited to see it, and you know, like I said, like don't try to think too hard about your characters at this phase, I would say, but you know, of course you're going to have some creative control, so if you have something in mind for your character, we can make sure to, you know, through the game you will have plenty of opportunities to, you know, lay the groundwork for the stuff that you need for your character, you know what I mean?
Out of curiosity.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Well, it couldn't
I'm looking
be
at
bad
the
news.
empath.
I kind of figured you would be.
The compassionate psychic.
Yeah.
Can I not? How do
Yeah, Louis said he thought I'd pick either the empath or the envoy.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
whatever
better
the
than-
face playbook
That's
was,
better
I
than
think
the off.
it was.
That's better than the off boy.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, I
the
really
James
like
McAvoy.
I like the idea of the empath, which is why it's important that we with microscope. No one's like, yeah, there are no psychics in this world.
That's gonna be my first move, Austin. I want you to know that.
In the game that you're not going to be playing.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't
Nope.
participate in microscope.
Psychics are banned. I'm not in the book. Here's my card.
Well, you heard him. No sidekicks.
No psychics.
I'm sorry. I've already written it down in pen.
No sight kicks. Do not kick anyone in their
No,
eyes.
no PSYCHIC.
If you're gonna kick something, make sure no one can see it.
Keep your kicks out of sight.
Now I think I'm stuck because I can't find. I'm on the other side of this door.
Oh, it's supposed to be kind of a dead end at the very top of that thing. I closed the Twitch stream because I'm actually getting ready to go to bed in a sec. But that whole top thing with the demon and the ramparts and all of that, that's kind of all there is.
Okay.
You're supposed to do more swamp stuff and, you know, extinguish the 3 fires or whatever to open.
Oh
there.
right, I'd forgotten about the three fires. Also,
But
I
good
need
thing
to go
about
back to the Firelink Shrine because I need to
But good
unleash
thing
my
about
true
that.
strength from Yol again.
Yeah, and good thing about the like being up there, up high at the top where the wolf is, you can actually get a good kind of your bearings because the swamp is so hard to. It's so easy to get lost in there. But from up there, you're above the tree canopy, so you can actually see where the fires are in relation to you, so you can get a general heading of where you need to go.
Oh neat.
Yeah.
Oh, Louise, how did you like my Johnny Clamps robot?
It's good, although the clamps need to be bigger.
Of course. Just make the clamps bigger. Make it your own.
I'll be right back.
Oh,
I'm just saying, look, giant clamps on a robot. There is precedence.
Ah, jeez.
And I need to see, but at some point we also need to do like the wrestling game. I have actually been doing more work on that than
What if? Now bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
I know this might sound crazy, what if, sort of Macbeth style, we play the wrestling game in universe with our beam saber characters? It's like an RPG nested in another RPG.
Nah, I'm gonna pass on that.
But yeah, but I've actually put in quite a bit of work on the wrestling thing because I didn't want to do too much. I really didn't want to do any prep until we got Microscope out of the way.
And that's perfectly cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've only done like, in terms of character, I've done like name, what they look like, and like what their mech looks like, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did come up with a call sign, and
Cool. But I should really get to bed, so I will talk to you guys later.
You could stay up and make poor decisions with the rest of us.
knows to see the sleepy boy. He's got to get his rest.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Buenos nachos.
nachos.
Or it could be Buenos Nachos from Kim Possible.
Nice, sweet Kim Possible reference.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
I'm also gonna go, mostly because the store is about to close and I need to actually wrap it up.
Okay.
And I too will also go because I need to start thinking about bed and shower and everything.
Okie dokie. Well, then I'll just sit here by myself. All alone.
You got all your streamers watching.
I just, go to Idaho all alone. Sit in the boat. All alone. This is a Goofy movie reference if you haven't figured it out.
Yes, yes. Okay, I will talk to you later, Oscar.
Buenos nachos! Well, it's just you and me, chat.
safe, champion of Ash.
Welcome home, speak. Very well, then take note. Farewell, I shall
Aha, thou returned. So
I wonder if that demon's gonna be back alive. Nope. I did. I don't want to invade another. No, stop. How do you, no, how do you stop? Can I uninvade? How do I tell them I don't want to fight? Guess I'm fighting. They just killed everything? All I want to do is deny them the opportunity to kill me. And all I can find are little baby crabs. Ah! Oh, I still got it. Nice.
I'll take it. I'm thirsty. shrimp.
Huh. Oh, nope. Go away. Nope. Oh, you're still following me. Still following me. Okay then.
Ah, Ashen one, what woeful under this barren, where didst thou happen upon the stuff? Oh yes, I still into lofty dreams, if it must come from one, wouldst thou not? Ashen one, be sure.
Wait, no.
Oh, I. Then shall we bear up? Be safe, champion.
Well then.
And
I'm gonna grind up to 5,000 souls so I can get that ring. And then I'll probably call it.
Then shall we bear? Be safe, our
Alright, well, I think that's gonna do it for today, everybody. So until next time. Be excellent to each other. Don't party too hard. and catch you on the flippy flops.